I mean, I tend to think about it less in terms of what lessons governments can learn, and I like to think about it in terms of what lessons people can learn. What are the lessons that civil society, that people's movements, that community organizations, that the media, that NGOs, what are the lessons that they can learn from from the experience that other African countries have had with natural resource extraction? And I think that the kinds of lessons that the people can learn come from looking at what has happened in Nigeria. I think we can look at what's going on in Uganda right now, and the way that oil has, before oil has even really been extracted, it's already causing major disruptions to the national politics. And so I would say that I think it's not African governments, but I think African governments might actually take lessons from other countries that are inimical to the interests of their citizens. And so perhaps governments need to learn less from some of the worst practices that other countries have undertaken. And so I think that what's really important is to develop, which has already been happening, is to develop connections, alliances, solidarity, relationships between people's movements, people's struggles, people's organizations, community-based organizations, NGOs, civil society, human rights groups that are working around questions of natural resource extraction in different African countries, for links to develop among them, so as to be able to insist that their governments do not learn the bad lessons from other countries, but rather have to take on board the best practices that perhaps nobody has put into practice entirely yet.
Without you, no.